BCBI Code of Banks Commitment to Customer. Right, we are talking about which of the following is not a key commitment under the BCBI Code of Banks Commitment. So we have certain points here. Out of that, which of the following is not a key commitment that you have to tell? To help customer use their account or service, to sanction loan facility as per customer request, to deal quickly and sympathetically with things that go wrong, to publicize the code. So what do you think, which of the following is not a key commitment under the BCBI Code of Banks Commitment to Customer? So to help customer use their account or service, this is the what we can say, this is the commitment that bank have towards the customer. They have to help customer to use their account and the services they are taking from the bank. Third is to deal quickly and sympathetically with the things that go wrong. Obviously, if something went wrong, if customer has faced a certain loss or problem, you have to help out the customer. Publicize the code, this is true, but to sanction loan facility as per customer's request, this is not a commitment of a bank. The bank will sanction the loan as per the criteria of the bank, as after checking the KYC, after checking the credit history, after checking the collateral, everything. Then bank will decide what amount of loan will be sanctioned. The right answer will be B option. Okay, right answer is B. Now next question is talking about which of the following are the part of basic duties of a bank towards customer. So which of the following are the part of basic of a bank towards the customer? So bank have a certain duties, certain responsibilities toward the customer. Out of these four, which of the following is the duty of a bank? So first we have duty of secrecy and confidentiality. Second, duty of reasonable care. Third, dealing with garnish or attachment order. Fourth, all of you. So out of these particular duties, which of the following duty is the basic duty of a bank towards the customer? So bank have a duty of secrecy and confidentiality, is it? Yes, it's true. Now it has been said to the bank, you can't share the information of the customer with the third party until and unless customer allows you to do so, or until and unless law says so. Let's say, for example, a certain case came up against your customer and the government or the police department or the CBI or something, income tax officers, they are asking for a detail about the customer. In that situation, you have to share the information of the customer. So after certain exceptional cases are there, in case of your legality formalities, you have to share the information about the customer, otherwise no. So this is actually the duty of a bank of secrecy and confidentiality about the customer information. Okay, now duty of reasonable care. Obviously, this is also a duty of a bank to have a reasonable care in context to the customer. Dealing with the garnish order or attachment order, this is also a duty of a bank. Having or following the garnish order, attachment order, this is the duty of a bank. Garnish order will be given by the court. Attachment order will be given by the authority, like income tax officer, revenue officer, etc. But both have to be dealt by the bank as per the order have been received. Okay, so all are the basic duties of a bank towards the customer that bank have to follow or bank have to complete this responsibility. So right answer is D, all of the above. Now, next question we have, the loan account of Mr. X are overdrawn. Which of the following steps is not appropriate to be? So Mr. X has an account in a bank, or that account have been overdrawn. Like as per the limit, you have overdrawn the amount of money from the Mr. X account. So what can be, which of the following cannot be the appropriate step? First, the bank's lawyer issues a legal notice containing various details of the loan account. Second, the bank discusses the matter with the guarantor with complete details of the loan account. Third, the bank informs the status of the account to CIBIL. Fourth, the bank contacts a firm that provide informally recovery services and the service and gives the details to them. So out of these four situations, which of the following is not a right step to be taken? Which of the following is correct? So it is not appropriate step. First, the bank's lawyer issue a legal notice containing various details of a loan account. This is a appropriate step. Now, after seeing the overdrawn limit, you have to issue a legal notice. This is true. The bank discusses the matter with the guarantor with complete details of the loan account. This is also true. After facing the overdrawn condition, you have to talk about with the guarantor about that. The bank informs the status of the account to CIBIL. This is also true. CIBIL is what? Credit Information Bureau of India Limited, that gives the rating to the customer on the basis of their credit card repayment and loan repayment condition. So CIBIL provide 3-digit rating to the customer, and it has a highest, or not highest, but the biggest customer base, because it provides rating to individual customer like me, like you, like any other person. It provides rating to these individual person. That's why it has a biggest customer base. Now it also started providing commercial rating. It also provide rating to the corporates. Okay, earlier it used to provide rating to the individual persons only, but now it is also providing rating to the commercial. Okay, so bank informed the status of the account to the CIBIL, obviously, so that if the customer went to another bank and asking for a loan, so CIBIL will be there to inform the bank that this customer has default, have done default or certain thing with the another bank, so that the CIBIL, the another bank will not approve the loan of a customer. This is also a right step. So the bank contacts a firm that provide informally recovery service and gives the details to them. This cannot be done. This is not a professional way to overcome this issue of overdrawn amount in the loan account. Okay, so the right answer will be D option. It is not an appropriate step that can be taken by the bank. You can't do that informally. You have to follow the formal rules. You have to follow the rules, regulation, guidelines, and a standard norm. Okay, next question. Now, bank customer relationship is what? It's a contractual relationship. Obviously, bank customer relationship is a contractual relationship between two parties, and it may be terminated by which of the following way. So every time bank and customer is having a relation, that's a contractual relationship between bank and customer. Contractual relationship simply means bank and customer have become the partner of each other in performing a certain service, in performing a certain service or product, financial product and services, and they are helping each other in their requirements. So they have been created a contract among them, and accordingly they are working together. If you want to terminate, the termination of the contractual relationship between a bank and a customer can be done in which condition? In which ways it can be done? So first we have voluntary termination, death of customer, insanity of the customer, garnish order, bankruptcy of a customer, liquidation of a company. So in which of the condition the termination will be done of contractual relationship between a bank and a customer? Only 2, 4 and 5, only 1, all except 3 and 4, all. Let me know which of the following is correct. A, B, C or D. So when it comes to the termination condition, the first one is definitely right. The voluntary termination is allowed. Like when customer giving a certain written request to the bank that I want to close my account, I want to close the relation, then it will be done. So on the basis of voluntary termination, it is allowed. Okay. Now, apart from that, the second way is termination of this contractual relationship between a banker and customer. The termination will be done by law. By law. the termination will be done by law. Okay, and termination, if done by law, it will be done in case of death of customer, in case of insanity of the customer, in case of garnish order, in case of bankruptcy of a customer, and liquidation of a company. All these will be the part of termination of by law. So there are two ways only. The first one is voluntary termination and the second one is termination by law. Okay, and the termination of law will cover all these activities. So the right answer will be here D. All are the ways by which the termination of the contractual relationship between the bank and a customer can be done. The right answer is D. Next. Next question we are talking about. In case of customer grievance redressal, every member is required to have dash. So customer grievance redressal portal should be there in each and every services you are providing, not only in banking services, also in the another services. So first, in case of customer grievance redressal policy, every member required to have what? To have a help desk helpline at the branch, to have a code compliance officer at each controlling office above the level of the branch, to have display at each branch name and contact number of the code compliance officer, and to have display name and address of the ombudsman. So which of the following is correct? A, B, C or D? Which of the following is correct? So it's obviously every member have to have a help desk and helpline number at the branch. Every member have to have a code compliance officer at each controlling office that is above the branch level. Every member have to display each branch the name and contact number of the code compliance officer. Every member have to have display name and address of the ombudsman in their branch. The right answer is all. All of these have to be there with the members when they are providing grievance redressal to the customer. Okay, so right answer is D. Now, before moving towards next question, I want to tell you something. A very biggest surprise for your JIB October paper. Now, what is it? I was thinking that I will reveal that surprise only on the day when we are going to have this particular thing. But now, as you know, if you are having a certain secret, you have to make it out. Hai na? So I'm not revealing everything here right now, but it's a very we can say it's a very helpful thing that we are going to have on 9th of September, only on Officers Adda 24/7. That is definitely going to help you out for your JIB. As you can see, Officers Adda 24/7 team is coming up with a big surprise for the JIB aspirants. Okay, a very big surprise for the JIB aspirants we are introducing. And to know what is this big surprise, you have to for your JIB October preparation, because we are working accordingly for you, all of you. Okay, so let's start. Next question. Which of the following is our important obligation of a customer towards his/her bank? Now, the obligation of customer we are talking about towards the bank. And the options we have: to keep the passbook, the checkbook, and the debit card safely, not to allow any third party to use your own bank account for its transaction, to provide the required document and information, including personal information for KYC. And the next one is not to click on any link you receive through emails, SMS, etc. for accessing bank's website. Even if you are going on Google also, on Google there is a fake links of the bank's website. So always do check you are using a secure website of a bank. This is very important. So all these are the points in front of you. So which of the following are the obligation of a customer towards the bank? Okay, so which of the following is correct? Actually, everything is correct. All are the correct statements regarding the customer's obligation towards the bank. है ना? It's not like every time there is a mistake from the side of bank. If you got a link by like a UPI link, a lot of people have got, like you have won the reward of 5,000, click on this particular link to get the reward. And people used to click on that. And as you click on that particular link, your UPI account will be empty. So this is the responsibility of the customer to follow these points. Okay, these are the obligation of the customer toward the bank. Now, in which of the following situation is the bank authorized to share information? In which situation bank is authorized to share the information? First, Mrs. B, wife of Mr. A, comes and asks the balance in his savings account in a single name. Anna, so the account is on the name of Mr. A, but his wife came to the bank and asking for amount. Second, the balance in a savings bank account is blocked as per the attachment order of the income tax officer under advice of the customer income tax department. Then Mr. T, the teller, speaks out the balance in the account of Mr. X, who has just withdrawn cash from his account. Then the balance in the savings account of Mr. Y is told to an income tax officer making telephone inquiry. So what do you think? Which of the following situation is the bank authorized to share information about the customer? A, B, C or D? Which of the following is correct? So in case of wife ask about the balance in the husband's account, it is not allowed. In case of Mr. T, the teller speaks out the balance in the account of Mr. X, not allowed. The balance in the savings account of Mr. Y is told to an income tax officer making telephonic inquiry. Can't do that. The only permission is given to the bank to share the information of the customer and not somehow violating the rule of secrecy and confidentiality, in which the balance in the savings account of a customer is blocked as per the attachment order you have received from the income tax officer under the advice to the customer and the income tax department. The right answer is your B. Okay. Which of the following are true about BCSBI present state? So BCSBI is Banking Codes Standard Board of India. So if we talk about BCSBI, is it working right now? Let me know. BCSBI is working right now or not? So it is simply the Banking Codes and Standard Board of India. And it is what? It is Banking Codes and Standard Board of India. Is it working right now in the country? Okay. So you can see here, these are the statements. Out of these, you have to tell which of the following is true. The first one is asking that in February 2019, RBI opined that the function of BCSBI are being handled departmentally and advised the BCSBI to take a step for dissolution. Like it have to be removed from the country. The second we have here, BCSBI has discontinued operation related to the objects of the trust effective from 1st April 2009. Like BCSBI has removed its operation, discontinued its operation from when? From 1st of April 2009. Third, RBI since set up Consumer Education and Protection Department issued the Charter of Customer Rights and considerably strengthened the ombudsman mechanism to enhance the customer protection. So it was accordingly decided to dissolve the BCSBI. Like if you are resolving the BCSBI, who is going to take care of the frauds or all of the complaints of the customer? So for that, you have to make the ombudsman strong. And that's what RBI did by merging three ombudsman scheme: banking ombudsman, ombudsman scheme for NBFC, and ombudsman scheme for digital transaction. All these three have been merged and single scheme has been introduced that is named as integrated ombudsman scheme. By Reserve Bank of India in 2021. Anna, so we have made this strengthen to the enforcement mechanism. So which of the following is true? All are true. We have dissolved the BCSBI. In place of BCI, now enforcement have to take care of everything. And it was dissolved, discontinued from the 1st April 2009. Right answer is D. Right answer is what? D. Next question. It is talking about Mr. Z has availed a clean overdraft from a bank. He has certain fixed deposit with the bank. He also has a safe deposit locker with the banks. Which of the following is the correct position? Which of the following is the correct position? So first option we have, the bank has general line only on the fixed deposit. The bank has no line either on the fixed deposit or the content of the safe deposit locker. The bank has general line over both the fixed deposit and also the safe deposit locker content. Then the bank has general line only on the contents of the locker. So what do you think, which of the following is correct? A, B, C or D? So a line is simply, banker's line is simply when the bank has a right on the collateral until and unless customer repay the loan to the bank. Okay. Now let me know which of the following is correct. So first of all, the bank has no line either on fixed deposit or the contents of the safe deposit locker. No. The bank has general line over both the fixed and also the deposit locker content. Not possible. The bank has general line only on the content of the locker. No. The bank has general line only on the fixed deposit. The general line. There are two types of line, general line and specific line. So the general line has only on the fixed deposit. Okay, so right answer is A. Okay, right answer is what? It is A. Now, the obligation of banks to keep the affairs of their customer secret and confidential arise from dash. First, a specific law for banking secrecy, Banking Regulation Act, contractual relationship, none of the above. So secrecy and confidentiality, obligation of a bank towards the customer. It comes from where? It simply comes from the contractual relationship bank and customer is having. So right answer is, the first question is talking about here, the law relating to the payment of checks and protection to a banker is contained in the dash. So first of all, if we talk about check is a negotiable instrument. It is defined under the section 6 of Negotiable Instrument Act. Now we have a CTS, check truncation system, which was introduced to stop the physical movement of a check. So earlier what used to happen, we have to physically move from check from one place to another to make payment available, to make the payment possible. But now if we talk about, we do not have to physically transfer the check, only a single electronic image of a check will work and you will be able to get the money or the payment of the check in that situation. Okay, and if we talk about the check, there are three parties in the check. The first one, we have a drawer. Second, we have a drawee. And third, we have a pay. Okay, drawer means the person who is the making the check. That's a maker or that's a issuer who is making the check. Drawee means always a bank, the bank who is going to give you the funding. And paying means always the receiver who is receiving the money of a check. These are the three parties. And the check will always be a type of bill of exchange. It will be a type of bill of exchange because you can easily endorse the check. You can easily transfer the check from one person to another. That's why the check is known as what? It is known as your type of a bill of exchange because it can be endorsed. So it is defined under Negotiable Instrument Act. Then the question is asking the law relating to the payment of check and the protection in case of a banker. It is contained in which of the following act? So first we have Indian Contract Act, Reserve Bank of India Act, Negotiable Instrument Act, Banking Regulation Act. So Negotiable Instrument Act was introduced in the year 1881, and the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881 section 13 says, this section 13 says that we have 3 negotiable instruments. First we have promissory note, second we have bill of exchange, and third we have check. Okay, these 3 types of negotiable instrument we have: promissory note, bill of exchange, and a check. Clear? So the negotiable instrument talks about the what? The payment of check and the protection to a banker. So protection to a banker will be provided under section 131 of a Negotiable Instrument Act. To which particular banker? To the collecting banker. In case of check protection, in case of collection of a check, the protection will be given to the collecting banker in section 131 of Negotiable Instrument Act. Now, the second question is talking about a customer is bound to inform the dash about the lost check leaves. Let's say, for example, from your checkbook, 1 or 2 check leaves, or let's say more check leaves are missing. In that situation, it is the responsibility of the customer to inform the bank. To which bank? To the payee, to the endorsee, to the collecting bank, or to the drawee bank, to whom you have to inform that your check leaves are missing, might be taken by someone, or might be stolen. So let me know which of the following is correct. So in this situation, you have to inform to the drawee bank, because drawee bank is the bank which will be actually taking money from your account and will be paying for the check. Okay, so you have to inform to the drawee bank that the certain leaves of a check has been missing from your checkbook, so that whenever drawee bank will receive the check from of your account, it will confirm with you personally and then will make the payment available. Otherwise, no. So you have to inform the bank so that the bank will become very cautious about the payment of the check. So they will be confirming with you. The right answer is D. Now the next question we have in a joint account is if one of the signature is forged. Dash. So you have a joint account and one of the person of a joint account signature is forged. In that situation, what happens? In that situation, first, the bank and the customer are equally liable. In case of second, only the customer is liable, only the bank is liable, and no one is liable. So what do you think in a joint account if one of the signatures is forged? In that situation, it will be the liability of whom? The signature is forged. So it will be the liability of what? The customer, or both, or only the bank, or no one is liable? In that situation, bank is liable, because they are the primary customer of your account. They are the primary customer of your bank. So if their signature is forged, it means their signature is available with you. They opened the account, they have given you the KYC, they have given you the official valid document, they have given you their signature. So you had their signature, still the forgery happened in their account, in their signature. If let's say you endorse the check to the third party and the third party endorsed it to the another party. In that situation, if the second and the third party's signature was forged, you did not have the spiceman signature of those particular parties. So in that situation, bank will not be liable. But in the situation, the primary customer signature has been forged. So in this situation, the bank will be liable. So right answer will be C option. Okay, right answer will be what? C option. Now, payment to be made in due course, dash. Payment to be made in due course, dash. First, need not always be made to holder but can be made to his agent or servant. Need always to be made to the holder but can be made to his agent or servant. Made to customer's agent or servant. All of the above are correct. So in case of your payment to be made in due course, payment will be done to whom? To the holder or to his or her agent or the servant, or only to his or her agent or servant, or it should be made to the customer's agent or server, or the all of the above. So right answer is the payment made in due course need not always be made to the holder, but it can made to his agent or servant also. Hana, it can be made to whom? It can be made to the agent or servant also. Clear? The right answer is A. Now, the section 89 gives the protection to the paying banker of a check for dash. For which particular purpose? So, section 89 gives protection to the paying banker of a check for first, misspelled; second, amount in figures and words mismatch; third, materially altered but does not appear to have been so altered; fourth, forged sign of a drawer. So, which of the following will be covered? So, the right answer here will be, it will be materially altered but does not appear to have been so altered. So, this is what the section 89 talks about. So, it gives the protection to the paying banker of the check. Hana, for what? For materially altered but does not appear to be altered. Hana, does not have to be appear to have been so altered. So, in this situation, the paying banker will get the protection under the section 89 of your Negotiable Instrument Act. Hana, this protection cases are very important. The certain case study question can be seen on this also. Now, which of the following is our correct statement? You have to answer, and we have these statements. The first statement talks about, like in a joint account, if one of the signature is forged, then there is no mandate and banker cannot make payment. Then second, in a joint account, if one of the signature is forged, then there is no mandate and banker can make payment. The third option we have, both A and B is correct, and the fourth one is D. So it can't be both. Na? First saying banker can make payment, first is saying banker cannot make payment. So it can't be the C option. So which of the following is correct? In case of joint account, one of the signature is forged, then there is no mandate in banker, then the banker cannot make payment or a banker can make payment. What do you think? Which of the following will be correct? A, B or D? It can't be C. Hai na? So you have to find out A, B or D. Okay, so the right answer is, in a joint account, if one of the signature is forged, then there is no mandate. Also, it is forged and there is no mandate and no mandate will be available, then the banker cannot make payment of such kind of situation. Okay, so right answer is A. Next. Section 10 defines which of the following. So we have a section 10, it defines which of the following. The first is saying, Section 10 defines payment in due course to mean payment in accordance with the apparent tenure of the instrument in good faith and without negligence of any person in possession thereof under the circumstances which do not afford a reasonable ground for believing that he is not entitled to receive payment. Okay, this is what we are talking about here, that the section 10 talks about the payment in due course. The second is saying section 31 obliges the drawer bank having sufficient funds of the drawer in its hands properly applicable to the payment of such check to make payment when duly required to do so. And the third option is both A and B, and the next option is none of the above. So what do you think, which of the following is correct? So about the statements we have, I would want to change this question. The question is a little bit wrong. The question is, let's say for example here, the question here is actually, which of the following statement is oblique are correct? So what do you think, which of the following statement is correct? The first one which talks about the section 10, or the second one which talks about the section 31, or both, or none of the above? The first we have, it defines the payment in due course to the mean payment. Okay. Section 31 obliges the drawee bank having sufficient funds to the drawer in its hand, properly applicable to the payment of such checks to make payment when duly required to do so. So right answer is both. The section defines the payment in the due course, and section 31 obliges the drawee bank that it having a sufficient fund in the account of the drawee. So let's start the first of all. The first question in front of you is this. Acha, before starting with the first question, I want each and everyone to be active in the session and also keep answering the question, and do count that how many answers you are given correct, because in the end of the session, I will be asking the same question to you. Now, which are the following government services handled by banks? So out of a certain services has been given here. Out of those services, what do you think, which services are provided by bank? First, collection of central excise and custom, that's a taxes, central duty, excise duty, these are what? These are the taxes, indirect taxes. Collection of direct taxes, namely capital gains tax, gift tax, income tax, wealth tax, opening of public provident fund account, etc. Then opening of, if I talk about Indian economy, Indian financial system, all these tax you have to study there in detail, because there is a chapter fiscal policy and union budget. So what is direct taxes? Those taxes whose burden cannot be shifted on the third party. It means if you are using a certain services of the government, you have a liability to pay a certain amount of taxes to the government, and you are not allowed to shift that liability on the third party. That's a direct tax. Okay, so direct tax means the taxes whose burden cannot be shifted on the third party. Second, what about indirect taxes? Indirect taxes means the taxes whose burden can be shifted on the third party. So indirect tax burden can be shifted, but not the direct tax. Now we have opening of public provident fund account exclusively. We have what? Opening of public provident fund account can be done by bank or not. And the last one is collection of rents for landlords. Out of these four statements, which of the following services are handled by bank only? Which of the following government services will be handled by bank only? So the right answer will be all of the services will be handled by the bank. Regarding the government services, so government services, all services will be covered here by the government of India. Okay. Now, one of the following statement is not true with respect to RTGS. So RTGS is one of the service that is provided by RBI. So do remember, RTGS is real-time gross settlement and NEFT is National Electronic Fund Transfer. These both are right now managed by RBI, but if I talk about IMPS perform the same service for us, but it is managed by NPCI. Do remember that. NEFT RTGS comes with the RBI, but IMPS will be in the form of NPCI will be managed this. Okay. So now if I talk about RTGS real-time gross settlement, out of that, which of the following statement is not true? That you have to tell. First, funds are transferable from the branch of one bank to the branch of another banks. Okay. Only the corporate and government departments can avail the facility. The RTGS system is maintained and operated by RBI. This is so true. I have just told you. Now, each participant bank of the RTGS is required to open a dedicated settlement account for putting through its RTGS transaction. So, what do you think? Which of the following is not a function? So very obvious, only the fund of corporate and government department can avail this facility. This is not true. Anyone can take the RTGS services. Okay. So right answer will be your B option, because this is the not a feature of RTGS. Right answer will be B. Next. Dash is a negotiable instrument and an order drawn by one branch of a bank instructing another branch of the bank to pay a certain sum of money to the order of a certain person. Okay. Now you have to answer which of the following is correct. So first we have bank draft, second is banker's check, third is money transfer, fourth is electronic fund transfer. So which of the following is a type of a negotiable instrument? That is an order drawn by one branch of a bank instructing the another branch of a bank to pay a certain sum of money to the order of a certain person. So that will be a what? That will be a bank draft. One branch is ordering the another branch to pay a certain sum of money to the another person. So right answer will be your A option. Okay, bank draft. Now next we have a dash is a financial institution that holds customer securities for safekeeping to prevent them from being stolen or lost. The custodian may hold stocks, bonds, or other assets in electronic or physical form on behalf of its customer. So what we're talking about here, simply that dash is a particular financial institution. It holds customer security. For what purpose? For safekeeping, to prevent them from stolen or lost. And the custodian may hold stocks or bonds or other maybe assets, okay, in electronic or physical form on behalf of its customer. So which of the following will be correct for that? A dash what? A dash is a trustee bank, a dash is a custodian bank, a dash is a paying bank, or a dash is a collecting bank. So which particular bank is the financial institution who performs these activities for the customer? So the right answer will obvious, the custodian bank of the customer will hold the customer securities for the safekeeping purpose to prevent it from the stolen or from the lost. So right answer will be custodian bank. Now, next we have DDs and BC should be issued with account pay crossing if the account is a dash and above. So if you're talking about DD and BC, they should be issued through the account pay crossing. If the amount is of dash amount, 10,000 rupees, 20,000 rupees, 30,000 rupees or 40,000 rupees. Which of the following is correct? So we're talking about DD and BC. The demand draft and banker's check should be issued with account pay crossing. If the amount is dash and above, that will be 20,000 and above. If your amount is 20,000 and above, it will be issued account pay crossing form. So right answer will be B option. Next, one of the following statement is not true with regard to the locker facility in the bank. So out of the following, which of the following is the not true statement regarding your locker facility in the bank? So we have these options. First option is saying, in case of a sole hirer of a safety locker, nomination can be made in favor of only one individual. Second, a locker cannot be hired by limited company, specified association and societies, etc. Third, in the case of death of a sole locker hirer where there is nomination, access to locker may be given to the nominee. The fourth, when there are joint locker hirers having a contract of locker hire with either or survivor clause where there is no nomination, access to the locker may be given to the survivor in case of death of one of the hirers. So what do you think, which of the following statement is not true with regards to a locker facility in the bank? Achha, if bank is providing locker facility to the customer, it means bank and customer having a lesser and lessee relationship. Okay, bank and customer having what? They are having a lesser and lessee relationship. So bank will be the lesser because the lesser means the owner. Okay, lesser means what? It is owner. And lessee means the tenant, the person who is taking something on a rent. So when you are taking locker facility from the bank, you are the person who are taking a certain area of a bank, the asset of a bank to use for your purpose. So that's why you will be a lessee and bank will be a lessor. So in case of your locker facility, what do you think? Which of the following is not true? So the second statement is saying a locker cannot be hired by limited companies, specified association and society. No, it's not true. Anybody can hire the locker. There is no such kind of conditions here. So right answer will be B. This is not a true statement regarding the locker facility of a bank. So right answer will be your B option. Clear? Now, the next question we have here, that is talking about nomination facility is defined under section 45ZC2 dash. So, locker facility, nomination facility we are talking about, it is defined under the section 45ZC to which particular section? Section 45ZC, 45ZD, 45ZE or 45ZF. So which particular sections defines the nomination facility? So nomination conditions will be different in a different condition. If you are having a joint account, then condition will be different. If you are having a, let's say for example, single account, that then also the condition will be different. In case of either survivor, any one survivor or first holder or survivor, in each situation the nomination facility will be different. Okay, now the question is asking in which particular section it is defined. It is defined between section 45ZC to section 45ZF. The right answer will be the option. So from 45ZC to 45ZF, we talk about the nomination facility because there are so many conditions to make a person a nominee in different types of accounts. Okay. Now next we have a customer is entitled to issuance of a duplicate demand draft in place of the lost one provided dash. So what we are talking about here, a customer is entitled of the issuance of a duplicate DD if he lost the particular provided one document. So we have these options. That first one is he gives due intimation to issuing branch, payment of DD not already made by the drawing branch, execution of an indemnity signed by both the payee and the purchaser of the DD, all of the above. So what do you think, which of the following is correct? If a customer wants a DD, duplicate DD, then which of the following is correct? Okay, first he has to give the intimation to the issuing branch, then payment of DD not already made by the drawing branch, that have to check, execution of an indemnity signed by both the payee and the purchaser of the DD. Hana, like in case if that particular stolen or that particular lost DD found to someone and he took the money from the bank, in that situation who will bear the loss? Bank will bear the loss? No, the customer have to bear the loss. That's why indemnity bond will be signed by the customer, by the payee and as well as the purchaser of the DD. So right answer is all of the above. All these conditions have to be very precise when the customer is going to the bank for the issuance of the duplicate demand draft. So right answer will be all of the above. Okay, next we have a demand draft is issued by the banks to be valid for dash. DD is issued by bank, that we know. Demand draft is issued by bank and it is valid for what particular period of time that you have to ask or that you have to answer. It is 12 months, 6 months, 3 months or none of the above. 12, 6, 3 or none of the above. If I talk about the stale check, now stale check means what? The check whose validity expired. The check whose validity expired. That check is known as your stale check. Clear? The check whose validity expired, that's a stale check, and the validity of a check is 3 months, as the same for the DD also. Demand draft also have the same validity, that is 3 months. Clear? So stale check will be the right answer here. Oh, sorry, 3 months will be the right answer. It used to be 6 months earlier, but from year 2013, RBI changed it from 6 to the 3 months. Okay. Now we have implementation of electronic benefit transfer scheme is meant for which of the following types of customer. So if you are providing electronic benefit transfer scheme, it is for which type of customer you have to tell. It is for pensioners only, high net worth individual, low value accounts, disabled persons. Electronic benefit transfer scheme. Also, similarly, there is a direct benefit transfer scheme. This direct benefit transfer scheme was introduced by Government of India for the purpose, like what used to happen. The mediator used to take the money or the benefits of the social welfare scheme. Let's say, for example, I belong to the Ujjwala Yojana. In Ujjwala Yojana, Government of India is distributing LPG connections. So I was the one of them. I belong to the BPL family. So I was the one of the beneficiary of the scheme. So what happened? The mediator, the government said, in the case of new connection, we will be providing 1600 rupee as a financial assistance. But what happened? I only got 1000 rupee, or let's say I only got 600 rupee, because the remaining money have been taken by the mediator. And I was not financially literate. I was not financially aware that I will be getting 1600 rupee because I am not literate. I'm not financially aware here. So this used to happen in a lot of social welfare scheme. That's why the direct benefit transfer scheme was launched by the Government of India to make it possible, to make it capable that each and every person who is the beneficiary of social welfare scheme, and all the welfare scheme which Government of India is introducing for the weaker section, disadvantaged or population, etc. For all the persons, the Government of India wants that whatever benefits we are giving, that should go to directly them. And under the direct benefit transfer scheme, Government of India will provide the benefits in the account of the customer. So that's why transparency will be there, corruption will be less, and the weaker section will get their benefit at their doorstep, or I can say in their account or whatever. Okay, now similarly, electronic benefit transfer scheme was introduced. It was introduced for the low value account. It was introduced for what? Low value account electronic benefit transfer scheme. So simply answer will be C option. Okay, so first question is talking about Section 131 of Negotiable Instrument Act extends the protection to the dash. So it extends the protection to whom? It extends the protection to collecting bank, to paying bank, to drawing bank, or to a negotiating bank. So as I have talked about, it talks about a lot of conditions about the check, like who is liable, who is not. All these conditions will be there in the Negotiable Instrument Act. So this is what we're talking about. Section 131 gives the protection to which of the following bank? Collecting bank, paying bank, drawing bank, or a negotiating bank. The right answer will be your collecting bank. It gives the protection against a certain situation to the collecting bank under the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881, Section 131. Okay, so right answer is what? Collecting bank will get the protection against the case. Now, second question is talking about here, where a customer, Section 131 gives the, we have talked that Section 131 gives you the protection to whom? To your collecting banker. But in what condition it is providing the collecting banker your protection? So this is the question that is related to the first question. That question is asking Section 131 of Negotiable Instrument Act gives protection for collection of a dash. It gives protection to collecting bank, that we have seen. It gives protection to the collecting bank, but it gives protection for collection of which of the following instrument? That's the question is asking. And the first option you have bill of exchange, promissory note, negotiable instrument, and check. So it provides the protection for which of the following document? So do remember, it gives protection to whom? Collecting banker. In which case? In case of your check. So Section 131 talks about the protection given to the collecting bank for the collection of check. Okay, both the questions are linked to each other, so do remember them. Now, let's move forward to the second question that is talking about here. Where a customer by a letter has advised the bank directing the banker not to honor pay a particular check, such letter is called dash. Letter of credit, stop payment letter, mandate or garnish letter. Which of the following is correct? A, B, C or D? So in which condition, when a customer by a letter has advised the bank and directing the bank that not to honor or pay a particular check, such letter is called letter of credit, a stop payment letter or your garnish order or mandate. So right answer is stop payment letter. Okay, so right answer will be stop payment letter. Next, third question. The bill of exchange and check is defined under dash section of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881 respectively. So which of the following is the section of bill of exchange and check under the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881? I have told you that there are three negotiable instruments defined under section 13 of Negotiable Instrument Act: promissory note, bill of exchange and check. Out of that we are asking bill of exchange and check is defined under which section? Section 5 and section 6. So right answer will be your C option. So section 5 defines the bill of exchange and section 6 defines the check. Right answer will be your C option. Now the next question is talking about promissory note is defined under dash section of Negotiable Instrument Act. So which particular section talks about the promissory note? Section 5 talks about bill of exchange, section 6 talks about check and section 4 talks about the promissory note. It talks about what? It talks about the promissory note. So check, you all know check is simply a type of a bill of exchange which is drawn on the name of a specified person or otherwise on the demand, right? Now promissory note and bill of exchange are kind of a similar document. They both are documents in writing. They both will have they both will be promising to pay a certain sum of money to a certain person. But there is a difference. Difference is that in the promissory note, two parties will be involved. In bill of exchange, two or more than two will be included. The next difference is that in the promissory note, there is an unconditional undertaking. Unconditional undertaking. And in case of bill of exchange, there is unconditional. Okay, it will be unconditional order. Now, what is the difference between these? So, promissory note is a negotiable instrument. It's a document in writing not containing an currency note. It gives or it promises to pay a certain sum of money to a certain person or on the order of the bearer. But one thing is very important, that is unconditional undertaking. The promissory note is a document in writing which contains an unconditional undertaking to pay a certain sum of money to a certain person or on the order of the bearer. Now, what does this unconditional undertaking means? It means no matter what, if you have promised you are going to make payment on 13th of August, you have to make it possible. You can't add any such kind of condition that I will be making your payment, I will be transferring you money, I will be giving you your payment on 30th of August if and only if my money will be approved by the bank, my loan will be approved by the bank, or my further trade payment has been received to me. Then only I will be paying you money on the 30th of August. No such kind of condition you can add. You can't say that I will be paying you money on 30th of August if on that particular date it was raining. So no such kind of conditions are allowed to make in the promissory note. If you have promised you are going to pay on the 30th of August, that you are taking undertaking that I am responsible, no matter what, I will be paying your money on the 30th of August. This is the unconditional undertaking. Two parties will be there. Now, what means unconditional order? It means you are ordering your bank that no matter what, on 30th of August, you have to make this payment to this particular customer. This is known as unconditional order. So, in bill of exchange, you are giving order to your financial institution, and in case of promissory note, you are taking undertaking by yourself. This is the only two differences between promissory note and bill of exchange. Okay. Now, next. So, right answer is A. Next, forged check is all an valid, invalid, dead or stale check. So question is asking forged check is all an valid, it can't be a dead check, it can be a stale check. A stale check means when the validity of a check is expired. When the validity of a check is expired, that check is known as your stale check. And the validity of a check is 3 months. If this validity expired, then the check will be stale check. So it can't be the right, it is the invalid. So for check is all an invalid check. Right answer will be B. Next, payment in due course is defined in which section of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881? So payment in due course is defined under which particular section? You have to answer. Section 4, 5, 10 or 31. Which particular section talks about the payment in due course? So what actually the payment in due course means? When we talk about payment in due course, it defines like making the payment apparent within the apparent tenure of the instrument. Okay, in a good faith and without negligence of to any person in possession, so thereof under circumstances which do not afford a reasonable ground for believing that it is not entitled to receive payment of amount therein mentioned. So payment in due course means simply the payment in accordance with the apparent tenure. Like I have told you, check has a validity of 3 months. So when you are making the payment of a document available on an apparent tenure, that is the payment in due course. Okay, that will be known as what? That will be known as your payment in due course. It cannot be defined under 4 or 5 because we have said promissory note and bill of exchange is there. It can be C or D only. So right answer is C. In the section 10, it talks about the payment in due course. Okay. Now, next question. A check favoring Mr. Rajkumar or order is stolen. The thief endorsed the check as a Rajkumar in his favor. The check is presented in clearing and paid by the drawing bank. The true owner later on sent legal notice to the bank. What is the liability of the bank? In this case, this is a kind of case study. Hai? What will be the liability of a bank? So first is saying the paying bank will get protection under Negotiable Instrument Act. Second is saying a forgery does not give any rights to the paying bank, hence it's liable. As per Section 85 of NI Act, the paying bank is liable. As per Section 131 of Negotiable Instrument Act, paying bank is liable. So we are saying the check favoring Mr. Rajkumar or order is stolen. And the thief endorsed the check. Thief have done what? Endorsement. He transferred check as Rajkumar in his favor. It means he have done the forged signature of the Rajkumar. Na? That's why he was able to endorse the check. So check is presented in clearing and it was paid by the drawing bank. The bank has made the payment to Mr. person who has taken the check, who was the thief. So in that situation, the bank will be liable or not? In this situation, the paying bank will get protection under the NI Act. The bank will get protection under the NI Act because it was stolen and then it was endorsed. So right answer will be A. Now, banks slip prima facie evidence of certain facts as per dash section of NI Act 81. And we have a section number 145, 146, 147, 148. So under which section we are talking about this? So banks slip prima facie evidence of certain facts as per your dash section of Negotiable Instrument Act. First of all, it means what? It means the evidence of complaint may be given on affidavit and that is subject to all just exceptions be read in evidence in case of any inquiry. So or the trial if happens, or other proceedings if happens. So the court shall on production of the bank slip or memo with the official mark that denoting that the check has been dishonored or presume the fact of dishonor of such check unless it is disproved. So that will means the bank slip prima facie evidence of certain facts and it is defined under the section 146 of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. So the right answer will be your B option. Next. Crossing of a check is defined in which section of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881? So crossing of check will be of 3 types. Okay, the crossing of check will be of 3 types. So the sections are there: 123, 124, 125, both A and B. Which of the following is correct? If I talk about the crossing, there are three types of crossing. We have a general crossing, okay, in which you will find this is your check. On the left side, top two parallel lines will be there. Then we have account pay crossing. In the two parallel lines, left top it will be written account pay. And the third special crossing, at the left side of the top of the check, two parallel lines will be there. It will be written account pay and the name of a particular bank. These three types of crossing will be there: general crossing, account pay crossing, special crossing. Okay, so it is defined under which particular section? It is defined under both section A and B. It means 123 and 124. So section 123, 124 deals with two types of crossing, that is general crossing and special crossing. Okay, 123, 124 talks about the general crossing and the special crossing. The right answer is D, both. Next, section 131 of Negotiable Instrument Act gives protection for collection of which of the following? We have discussed this. For the check, it gives protection for the collection of check. To whom? To the collecting banker. To the collecting banker, it will provide you the protection. So let's start with the first question, that is talking about public authority means. What actually the public authority is? First is saying an authority established by the government. Second is saying an authority established by the law. Third is saying a non-government organization. Fourth is saying any authority or body or institution or the self-government that established or constituted by or under the constitution by any other law made by the parliament, by any other law made by state legislature, and by notification issued or order made by the appropriate government. So this, which of the following you think is actually a public authority? So what do you think, what actually the public authority means? A, B, C or D? And the right answer here will be your not an authority established by government, not an authority established by law, not a non-government authority. It is the any authority or body or institution of your self-government established or constituted by under a certain constitution or by any other law that has been made under the parliament. Okay. Next. So right answer is your D. Next question is talking about Central Information Commission consists of. What actually the Central Information Commission consists of? First it is saying it covered the Chief Information Commissioner, it covered the Central Information Commissioner not exceeding 10, the State Chief Information Commissioner, or both A and B. So when we are talking about Central Information Commission, it covers which of the following? A, B, C or D? The Chief Information Commissioner, the Central Information Commissioner not exceeding 10, the State Chief Information Commissioner, or both A and B. So what do you think, which of the following are the part of your Central Information Commission? And the right answer to this question will be not the State. State Chief Information Commissioner will be in the State Information Commission, not in the Central. The right answer will be D, that is both A and B. Okay, if we are talking about a State Chief Information Commissioner, this will be under the State Information Commission. Okay, so right answer will be D, both A and B. Now, next we have right to information means the right to what? Inception of work, document and records, taking notes, extract or certified copies of document or records, taking certified samples of material, all of the above, and obtaining information in the form of diskettes, floppies, etc. of information is stored in a computer or in any other device. So what do you think, if we are talking about that you have a right to information, what information right we have? A, B, C or D? What kind of information we have right on? Right means you can ask about it. Whenever you want, you can ask a query about it. You can ask a question about it. So what kind of information covers your right to information means? Okay, so right answer is it will cover everything: the inception of work, document records, taking notes, extract certified copies of document or records, taking certified samples of material. All of the above will be there, plus obtaining the information of in the form of diskettes or floppies or any, like in the disk or floppies or whatever the form of information you have, whatever the form of information you stored in, all will be covered. So the right answer will be D. Right answer is what? D. Next, the Central Information Commission may impose a penalty of dash for each day till the information is furnished subject to a maximum of dash after giving to the parties an opportunity to be heard. So Central Information Commission has said that it will charge the penalty, it will impose the penalty if penalty will be charged per day. If the information have not been furnished on a certain duration, and the maximum penalty of that amount that will be given after to the parties an opportunity to be heard. So it is 250, 25,000, 150, 15,000, 100, 250, 25,000, or none of the above. So what is the per day penalty and what will be the maximum penalty that will be charged by the Central Information Commission? Okay, so right answer is actually it will be 250 rupees per day and the maximum will be your 25,000. So this penalty will be charged by the Central Information Commission, or the Central Information Commission may impose this penalty for per day and the maximum amount. So right answer is your A. Okay, next question. Read the following statement and mark the correct option. The first statement is Right to Information Act 2005 came into force on October 2005. Second is saying the provisions of subsection 1 of the section 4, subsection 1 and 2 of section 5, section 12, 13, 15, 16, 24, 27 and 28, they shall come into force on 15th of June 2005, while the rest of the provisions came into force from the date of enforcement, that is the 12th of October 2005. So what do you think, out of these two options, which option is correct? Both are correct, none are correct, one is correct, second is incorrect. What are the situation? So first is saying Right to Information Act 2005 came into force on 2nd October 2005, or the provisions of subsection and sections we're talking about, some came into force from 15 June 2005 or some came into the force from 12th October 2005. So what do you think? Which statement is correct here? Which statement is correct here? First is saying both 1 and 2 are true and the second is the true in reference to 1. Second is saying both 1 and 2 are true and the second is not true in reference to the 1. Third is saying both 1 and 2 are false, and fourth is saying second is true and first is false. So right answer is both are correct. First is correct as well as second is also correct, but the second one is the true in reference to first one. So that's why the right answer will be your A option. That's why the right answer is your A option. Okay, next question. So the State Information Commission shall consist of, first, the State Chief Information Commissioner. In the first question, the State Chief Information Commissioner will come under what? State Information Commission. It means both are correct. At the central, at the state level, we have created an Information Commission. So both are correct here. Okay, right answer will be both. Next. Which of the following is correct about RTI Act 2005? We are talking about the correct statement about the RTI 2005. First is saying the Right to Information Act 2005 was enacted with the intent to provide for setting out the practical regime for citizens to get the information. Second is saying that under the control of public authority in order to promote transparency and accountability in the working of every public authority. Third is saying The act aims at containing corruption and holding the government and their instrumentalities accountable to the governed by providing access to information. And the act creates, one second. Just give me a minute. Okay. So this is what we're talking about here. Which of the following is correct about the RTI Act 2005? So you have to answer this. Which of the following is correct? First, we are saying the Right to Information Act 2005 was enacted with the intent to provide the setting out the practical regime for the citizen to get into the information. Second, under the control of public authorities in order to promote the transparency, accountability in the working of every public authority. Third is saying you that the act aims at containing corruption and holding the government and their instrumentalities accountable to the governed by providing access to information. The act also creates machinery for ensuring effective implementation of the act. And then the fourth one is saying that the act has the application to those banks and financial institutions that will come under the purview of public authority as defined in the act. On coming into force of this act, the Freedom of Information Act 2002 has been repealed. So which of the following is actually correct statement about your Right to Information Act? Okay, so the right answer will be your E, that all of the above statements are correct when we talk about the Right to Information Act, or certain statements have been given to us. Out of that, all the statements have been correct regarding to the Right to Information Act. Okay, now next question we have, match the following. You have a certain match the following here. Out of that, you have to tell which of the following is correct. So the provisions have been defined about information, public authority, record, right to information, and the section have been given to us here. That is section 2J, section 2I, section 2F, section 2H. So which of the following is correct? If I talk about the information is defined under what? It is defined you under the section 2F. So information is a part of your section 2F. It means the third one. Okay, second is talking about public authority. Public authority is defined under what? It is defined under section 2H. It means it will be the fourth one. Record. The record will be maintained here under the RTI. That will be the part of section 2I. That is the second one. And the remaining right to information is defined under the section 2J. That is the right to information. So this is how you can match the following. So the first is saying your third, second is saying fourth. So if we talk about first is third is only in the first statement. First is third, second is fourth, third is second, and fourth is one. So the right answer will be A. Right answer here will be A. So do make sure whatever you know the first, match that particular point there and then answer the others. Hana, you will be easily able to find out the right match. Which of the following is true with regard to Central Information Commission? The true regard to Central Information Commission. So first is saying it is defined under section 2B. Okay. Second is saying here The Chief Information Commissioner and Information Commissioner shall be appointed by the Prime Minister on the recommendation of a committee consisting of President, Leader of the Opposition in the Lok Sabha and Union Cabinet Minister to be nominated by the Prime Minister. Second is saying the central government shall by notification in the official gazette constitute a body to be known as the Central Information Commission to exercise the power conferred on and to perform the functions assigned to it. And the last one is saying only A, C and D. So what do you think, which of the following is true regard to the Central Information Commission? A, B, C or D? And the right answer for this particular question will be your, the first is true, that it is defined under section 2B. The second, if we talk about, this is not true regarding the Central Information Commission. The third one is true. The fourth one is true. It means A, C and D is the right option, but not the B one. Okay, so right answer will be your D. Next question is talking about as per section 2H, public authority means. What does the public authority means? First is saying any authority or body or institution or self-government established or constituted by or under the constitution. Second, any authority or body or institution of self-government established or constituted by any other law made by Parliament. Third, the public authority means any authority or body or institution of self-government established or constituted by any other law made by the state legislature. And the fourth one is all of the above. So what do you think, which of the following is correct about the public authorities? So as per section 2H, public authority means what? And it means your any authority or body or institution of self-government established or constituted by or under the constitution. And the second is also true, any authority or body or institution of self-government established or constituted by any other law. Third is also correct, the public authority means any authority or body institution of self-government established or constituted by any other law that has been made under the state legislature. It means all are the correct means of the public authority. Okay, so right answer will be your D option. What is the right answer? Right answer is D option.